That actually rang.
I did hear it too. You know what? I was thinking it was ringing.
It's the pole.
The pole.
Yeah.
Over there, yeah.
It was like...
Wait, so I clap. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to Erin and Clinton's Movie Reviews.
Hey.
So, when I record them, we record on microphones, and we like to sync it up later so it doesn't sound so echoey and you can hear our voices better. It just sounds better. Production value. But anyway, so I go 1, 2, 3, and I clap every time so I can sync up the lines in the
sound to our
if you make videos, you understand what I'm talking about. If you
Yeah.
don't, but just trust me, it helps. So anyways, we just clap that time, and literally the pole that's next to us here, like,
It's a metal pole.
It's a metal pole. It sturdies the house or whatever. It goes shing.
I was like,
It's like,
was that my ear or was that the pole? That was creepy.
anyways,
Oh.
so I'm still still.
Still holding that in the air.
Let's start the show.
Do.
All right, so we're gonna do that every time.
Every time.
Yeah, so I'm still a little bit. Last week I was, or yesterday.
Yeah.
Last week, yesterday, whatever we did the
We're
other
still
video.
doing
yesterday.
January 2nd.
Oh yeah, 365 and 365, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing 365 reviews in 365 days.
And
So,
today is still Personal Trainer Awareness Day.
I'm glad you remembered that because I would not have remembered
National Personal Trainer Awareness
that.
Day.
National Personal Trainer Awareness Day. The NPTAC. The NPTAC. The
So,
NPTAC.
Because we're doing that,
D.
what movie are we doing?
Thanks for trying to keep me focused
Yes.
here. We did Karate Kid before, and today we're doing, and the other one we're doing is Rocky.
Rocky.
One of my all-time favorite movies of all time.
And one of the most famous
Does that make
personal...
sense? One of
One
my
of the most-
all-time favorite movies of all time. Sorry,
It's a little redundant, but
what
whatever.
were we going to say? I'm sorry.
Also one of the most famous personal trainers
Oh my
in
God.
movie
Yes.
cinema.
Yes.
Movie cinema.
Mickey?
Same diff. Yeah.
Mickey!
Yes, he is one of the most famous personal trainers in all of movies.
for sure.
So that we had to do. We had to do two because we had Mr. Miyagi, who was a big guy, and then...
And eventually we'll do Rocky 2 and 3 and 4. You know, we'll do them all eventually. So we won't go into Mickey too much right now. I think we'll go into Mickey more in 3 because if anyone knows the movies, that's more. But hey, we got spoiler alerts on this, so if you're watching, there's going to be spoiler alerts.
There should be a flash spoiler alert at the very beginning. Like, don't watch this unless you are okay with spoils.
But you're right. He is one of the best,
most
iconic trainers in all movies. You know,
movies.
All right, sorry, we're back there. So our son.
His own.
Have you ever met my son before?
I've only given birth to him, but you know he's. Not
I was
mine.
there when he gave birth to him, but I'm going to claim him as mine now.
You were there.
I did most of the work.
Yes.
He came. This is why a 5 to 10 minute podcast, a video cast, a review should only take 5 to 10 minutes, but it always takes us like 20 minutes because of this kind of crap. I point to you like I don't ever do it because of this kind of crap that she keeps pulling and making fun of me.
Talks so much.
Anyways, my son came in, blah 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 blah. So we had to cut it up. So he is Mickey is one of the most iconic trainers, and this is one of the most iconic movies. And it was such a low budget movie too. That's the thing about it at the time. Yeah. It was They told I can't remember MGM. Was it MGM?
Yeah,
I think it was MGM. Told them that hey, if you can do whatever movie you want as long as it's under $1 million.
Yeah, $1 million.
And if you write the script, they told Sylvester Stallone. They say, hey, yo, Rocky. No, they told Sylvester Stallone if you write the script, you can be in the movie
for free.
For free. If you write the script for free, don't charge us anything.
Yeah.
And
you could star in the movie. Yeah.
But the good thing about that is he still owned the script then, so he got to sell it to him and decided not to, which was a great idea. And they ended up making the movie
because he wanted to play in the movie.
Yeah,
and he could have easily just sold it to him and just moved on. But I mean, this movie made him. I mean, he was obviously famous before that, but I mean, he went on to make so many Rocky movies and so many other movies, Rambo, I mean, all those.
And he
movies.
really wasn't like famous before, maybe a little tiny bit. But he
was a little bit, but I mean, this is what really, up to the,
for sure.
The top
this is what blew him off.
Well
and he wrote the movie. I mean, it's a great movie. It really is.
And the crazy thing is he wrote the movie and he played like this character who was pretty dumb. Like he was a little bit like just really ignorant and just didn't have a lot going on with him. And I mean that just shows like what a good actor he was. That he wrote.
No, he's really that dumb. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a writer for one. He wrote a whole script and he played it so well. And if you ever hear him talk, I mean, he's got that kind of weird like
draw or whatever,
thing going on. But I mean, he is so intelligent.
Oh my god, and he was one of my favorite. I mean, still is. I mean, I guess I'm older, but when I was a kid, he was one of my favorite action stars. And
me too. The whole lip thing.
Yeah, anything he did. I mean, the movie Cobra. which I love. Pretty hair. that creepy part. Pretty hair. Pretty hair. I'll have to review Cobra one of these days. So that's a small little movie he did that not a lot of people know about. It's kind of a cult classic, whatever you want to call it, or whatever. But it was one of my favorites growing up. I loved that movie. But we'll review that one day. But so
this movie was made in 1976.
Wow, jeez.
So 42 years. Yeah. My goodness.
Yeah. It was one of my dad's favorite movies, and
I'm not surprised by that.
See, I kind of got into Rocky around the Rocky 3 era.
Yeah.
You know, the Hulk Hogan, Mr. T. I was into the A-Team. I loved wrestling, so I really got into then. My dad constantly kept telling me about how these are great movies, but the first one is the best one. You got to watch the first one. And then we tried to watch it once or twice. It just was so slow. And as a kid, it was just boring to me. I didn't get it.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was really young. You know, but then as I got a little bit older, I watched it and just totally got why he loved it so much.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I watched it in order when I was a kid because, I mean, obviously I was an 80s child, so I was too young to understand the movies. Yeah. Up until probably I was in like 13 or 14. So by that time, I think Rocky 4 was the one that I watched with
Dolph Lundgren.
Yes. And
Ivan Drago.
Oh my gosh, yes, Ivan. And I loved that when he had to go to Russia.
Nothing going on over here.
When he had to go to Russia and and the when he was training in the
that whole
barn.
Scene,
gosh, I love that. That's what made me love the Rocky movies, and that's what made me have to go back and watch the other ones.
That was like the classic kind of sums up the whole Rocky feel. The guy he's facing is doing steroids, got all these high machines, doctors, and running all these high, the best technical equipment. Right. And Rocky's just running up mountains and lifting up rocks, and he's like wearing, digging,
his beard is growing out because he's in the wilderness, and
so it's kind of like it had that the Americans we're tough and we just we're scrappy and
we're gonna kick Russia's ass.
We're gonna kick everybody. Yeah, we'll kick Russia. We'll kick anyone's butt because we're scrappy and tough. So it's got that totally cheesy Americana stuff, but it's all right as long as you go into it knowing it's about that. I like that
opposite
stuff,
with the first one because Rocky is the Italian stallion. He's representing Italian people,
right?
And what's his name? Apollo Creed is the American. Like he has the
that's true.
American flag.
He kind of represents the Italian immigrant underdog. And then Apollo represents more the American.
He comes out and it's like living in America.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
like it's a whole thing. And then it becomes opposite. Like
Well, no, living in America thing. I think that was Rocky 4, wasn't it?
It was, but I thought he came out.
Did he come out to that in Rocky?
No, he must not have.
I don't think so.
He must not have, because I think they made that song specifically for him. In that.
Oh, maybe.
But either way, he always wore.
He was more flashy and more just like
yes. He came out. He was like he had the hat and everything. Right. So
then by the third one, Paul gives him the shorts and all that. So
I know.
That's cool. There's more cool facts about that. The second and third one with. The painting and all that. We'll get to that when we do that review. That's really cool. The first one,
like you said, it definitely was the beginning of an epic
It was
series,
way slower. And here we go. Listen, if you're watching this review and you've never watched Rocky and you're like, I'm watching it, I don't care. You're never going to watch it.
You're going to miss things.
Then go ahead and listen to this next spoiler part I'm about to say. But if you're going to watch it, you're kind of, hey, it's kind of got some interesting to watch it. Pause it and come watch this later, because this next spoiler part is a big part of the movie. And if you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to be ruined, it's going to ruin it for you, okay? So you're going to pause it? Okay, you pause it now. If you're still watching, this is your fault. Okay, so in the first one, he loses.
Yes.
I mean, he loses the fight.
Yes, he loses to Apollo Creed.
Yes. So it's like, to me, that was movies aren't like that. The good guy always wins at the end. That's what
that was the best part about this movie.
That's what made it great. Is but
yeah, it was realistic.
It was actually based off of something a little bit real too. I believe it was based off of a real story.
Well, yeah, because they showed. I thought they said they had like the real Italian stallion in the movie.
I think they did. He
did a small cameo, and he actually did lose.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll research stuff right after we watch it, and then we'll plan to review it the next day. And sometimes we won't review it for a month later. So this one we watched a while back. I mean, I've watched it a million times, but recently we watched it just a little bit ago. But it's been a few weeks, so I kind of forget. But yeah. Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that, but
yeah, it was based on an actual fighter called the Italian Stallion, but I can't remember if he lost his first fight or whatever. But I love that Sylvester Stallone wrote that Rocky will lose his first fight, and he didn't even know that they were going to do a 2 or 3 or 4.
Oh, like, at that time, of course not.
It was like, I'm just making this epic movie. Exactly. But I mean, I loved that he was like, I'm going to be realistic and make it like he was not as good as Apollo Creed.
Right. Oh yeah, no, he wasn't as polished.
No,
but like I said, he was he was a scrapper and he was tough.
A veteran. Yeah.
And that's why I love. There's a scene in the movie where Paul's already agreed he's going to find him, and he's on the phone and all stuff. He's not even thinking about it. He's not even worried about it.
Whatever.
And Paul, I can't remember his name. Paul's trainer, the bald dude. I can't remember his name,
I don't know.
But he's in there and he's watching the news is interviewing Rocky. They just happen to catch with him, and he's in a local meat market and he's pounding the crap out of the cow meat. You know whatever. And he's like, "Why don't you show us a little something?" And he's like, "All right." He starts off a little silver, and all of a sudden he's like, "Bam, bam, bam." And then the Paul's trainer's kind of like watching, like, "Dang, this dude's got something." He's like, "Hey, you might want to watch this." He's like, "Whatever." I love that scene because that's kind of the point of the movie. Is like, this guy's a no-name nobody, but then like you start watching, like, this guy is tough, dude.
That was the thing, is Rocky was known for never going down. Yeah. Like, he will never. I mean, even at the end even though he lost, he never went down. Right. He wasn't knocked out, and that was the whole point. Is Rocky was like, he had the like, what they say, an iron jaw or something like that. Yeah, something like that. But I mean, I loved this movie just because. I mean,
even though the one thing that's so unrealistic is that whenever these boxing movies happen, they're always like bam, 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 boom, boom, boom. I mean, just constantly punching you in the face. And I know. Like, in a real boxing match,
it's always like going for the body, so quick. And they're tired and they're laying on each other. I mean, if you've ever.
My ex-story did this.
Okay, buddy.
Elias, you gotta stop coming in here. No, this is not a game. Okay, please pick a game. And just stick with it and don't come back in, okay? Thank you. His face. Just looked at me like I was so annoyed. No, but anyway.
So anyways, the son had to come in again there.
Yes, the movie was unrealistic in the fact that we've watched real boxing and they're so tired that they're like,
they're barely punching.
And then the ref has to pull them apart constantly.
To get in a good punch, like the punches they do in Rocky, to get 4 or 5 of those in a fight, it's like, oh, right, I got a few good hard ones in there. Yeah. In Rocky, you get 1,000 per fight.
Yes. And their faces are like completely bundled up, and I mean, like, they just.
I blinded my left eye. Just cut me. Just cut me. Cut me, Mick. Cut me.
It's like, come on. No, that's not. I mean, that's more like MMA. That's what that looked like.
Well, and even in MMA, there's guys that are not that I'm I don't watch a crazy amount, but what I watch, there's guys that aren't quite as well trained and quite as talented in that sense, but they're just scrappers. They're just tough, and it's hard to beat them.
When they get on the floor, and I mean... Yeah.
Remember, like, Homer Simpson? Beating Dreddick Tatum, the Mike Tyson character in there? Yeah, Mo realizes that Homer can't fight worth a crap.
Oh, yeah.
But he finally realizes that he can take a punch. So his whole point is
he just standing there.
Wears out the other opponents and just gets him until finally so worn out, he just goes...
He just pushes him over.
He's like, oh, it's just so dumb that he doesn't feel pain at all.
I know. He's just like,
Oh, my God. But anyways, so the main thing is, in that scene where he eats the eggs, like 5 raw eggs, and
it's like coming down his face.
Yeah, before he goes out running and everything. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, he had to have done that one time and been like, done, I can't do that again.
Yeah, for sure.
That was awful.
Well, what was, you have a favorite part of the movie at all?
Yeah, I mean, should we say who's actually in the movie?
Oh, Sylvester Stallone, of course, is Rocky. Talia Shire, is Adrian.
Burt Young.
I want to see if I can remember all of it. Burt Young plays her brother. Mm-hmm. What can I think of his name right now? Paulie.
Yeah.
And then Apollo Creed is Carl Weathers.
Mm-hmm.
And what was Mickey's real name? Meredith Burgess.
Burgess Meredith,
who's in one of my favorite Twilight episodes ever.
Oh, yeah. Is it the pig one?
No, that's Eye of the Beholder.
Oh, it's the book one.
Yeah, the book one.
Yes.
Should I give that away real quick? Tell what the plot is and get it over?
Sure.
Okay, really.
I'm just going to watch Twilight.
Really fast.
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
Not Twilight.
One of my favorite episodes of Twilight Zone, if you don't know, is one with Burgess Meredith. Gosh darn it. And he's in there, and he's kind of like this lonely dude, and all he loves to do is read. He works at a bank. All he wants to do is breaks every time is read.
He's annoyed by people.
Doesn't like people. Just wants to read. One day he goes out of the bank vault. And he's in the deep part where it's all protected, and there's like a nuclear war goes off or something.
Nuclear bomb.
When he finally comes out, almost everything's destroyed. Everyone's dead. There's no one around. Everything. And he comes out, and there's just a library left. There's all these books everywhere, and he's just so juiced. There's no people around.
He can have silence. Finally get his silence
and read and everything, and no one to bother him. And he grabs his book, and his glasses fall off, and they break. It's like, So he's got this perfect world, but he doesn't have any glasses.
He can't read it.
So he can't read it.
So he's stuck in this zone, this Twilight Zone.
Oh my god, the ultimate Twilight Zone was so good at doing that stuff like that. We were like, oh!
Yeah, it's like, well, that's that.
So many shows, I'm sorry, I'm stuffed up. So many shows like The Simpsons. There's so many shows out there that have gotten ideas and just twisted them, but taken them from Twilight Zone.
Yes.
That show was so original. I'm sorry this is a rocker review,
really
but that
was.
show was so darn original.
It was. It really does. It really was.
But anyways, I'm sorry. So let's finish this.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, I'm so stuffed
who's-
up, guys. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, or David, Joe Spinell, Tony Burton.
Yeah, no one cares about any of those
Pedro
people.
Lovell.
Yeah, no one cares
Those are
about
all the people that trained. They
cares
were
about
all
those
like the
people?
trainers and stuff like that. But,
Again, nobody cares about those
hey,
people.
today is National Personal Trainer Awareness Day, and these were all the trainers that were in the movie.
I'd like to see you get really drunk and try to say that.
I had a whole glass.
Well, I know, but
He's empty.
easy, empty.
The music, the soundtrack was amazing.
Of course.
That was one of my
Classic
faves.
80s, yes. Yeah.
Classic 80s, and all of them had great soundtracks.
So anyways, yeah, it was under $1 million. They did it, and of course became a box office hit.
Won Best Picture,
Blew up,
won Best
all these
Director.
awards, yeah. And he got
Best Film Editing.
blew up Sylvester Stallone. He started getting in tons of movies,
Yep.
and then Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5, all these different ones. Balboa, yeah. So Creed, so yeah. Really
And I
good
mean,
job.
there's so many. Yeah, Creed now is the newest.
The newest Creed, and Creed 2 just
came out. So yeah, if you're into Rocky, then
yeah.
he's in all of them. He's in literally all of them.
I'm on the edge of sneezing too, so I apologize if I feel like.
Bless you in advance.
Yes, it might come out of nowhere here. But did you have a favorite part of that movie? Really? Or
I mean, the whole entire thing is pretty great, and I mean that's like I was saying about Karate Kid, how the whole ending is the best part.
Yeah,
that the whole build up, the best thing is the fight.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're right, but I wanted to say that because we're about to wrap it up. I wanted to say the one little fact. Remember about the him climbing the stairs?
Oh yeah.
Excited he got. So when he's climbing the stairs, the famous scene running the stairs and climbing it like he's climbing like this. But the famous scene where he's running up the stairs, they had to shoot that a couple different ways because of problems. But anyways, when he gets up there and he's kind of at the top, and he's dancing that famous scene. My God, they show all the time. He
finally made it. And he's in shape.
Up there, he's in shape. He's cheering. Well, when they shot that, they shot it. And they zoomed out like this, going away from him. Mm-hmm. And they hated it. They wish they would have shot it zoomed in, so they just reversed it. So when it's zooming in the movie, that's really backwards. And if you pay attention to him jumping around, you'll notice
like his movements.
It's like
backwards.
reversed. It's like and I never noticed it until we did the research into this and found that out.
Look at it.
Now when you see it, it's like they're gonna notice it every single time. It's like, oh man. So he's kind of watch that next time you see it, and he's like a little bit backwards. It looks weird.
Backwards, yeah. And then in the fighting scene, they talked about how they had to do that backwards with his makeup, fully beaten up, fully like bloody and everything like that. And then they thought it was actually easier to go backwards.
Just slowly take the makeup off, yeah,
take off the prosthetic and.
So the whole fighting scene at the end is shot backwards. The last round to the first round.
To the first round.
Much easier to put all the makeup on and slowly just take it off as you're fighting backwards than to put it on as you're going. Which I mean,
and it
seems
helped
like they both be tough, but
with artists, with the makeup artists, and all of the people that they had to pay.
A lot of the extras they only had to shoot for one day.
Yes.
Because for some reason, it's hard to explain why, but for some reason, because the way they shot it, they only had to pay them for one day as opposed to every single day they were shooting.
Exactly.
And save them a lot of money.
It would have costed more money to hire them every day, so it was just one day of shooting.
It's so cool. When we do this research for these movies, stuff we've watched a million times or when we were kids, and you see these little things, you're like, what? I didn't know that. Yeah, all those little things you didn't know about. Well, cool. So out of... called Balboas, I guess.
Sure.
Called out of 1 to 5 Balboas. I think you know what I'm going to give it.
4.
Nope, 5.
Oh.
This is one of my all-time favorite movies. The fact that he loses, the fact that it's just no name, and the way he works, the whole point of it of just no matter who you are, and I know it's not always true in life. That's kind of a corny message. No matter who you are, you can make it. If you just try hard. I know life's not always like that. Sometimes you can try hard, be one of the most talented at this and that, and you won't make it. I know life's not perfect, but you should think of it that way. You should try to go about life that way, of working hard and thinking, if I just work hard, I'll make it. Because most of the time, if you do work hard, you will make it. So I like that.
There will be bumps, but like this movie, I think that it's realistic because there are bumps
like
along
I said,
the way.
The boxing scene's a little not realistic, but the idea of the movie is realistic. Of you can, no matter who you are,
you're
if
an
you work hard
underdog.
enough,
If you work hard enough and you want it enough, then you could get it.
And that's a great message to have. You know what I mean? As long as you realize that it's not like a movie where you can just do a 30-second montage and now you're a heavyweight fighter. Those are movies. In real life, the workout and everything.
Punching in your face 1,000 times is unrealistic.
And what it takes to get to be the best is a lot harder in real life than what it seems like on the movie. So remember that. Yeah, I'd give it 5. It's one of my favorites of all time. It reminds me of my dad a lot. Of course, that's a big part of it too. I got a big connection. It was his favorite movie of all time.
Exactly.
So I always have that connection every time I watch it. But what about you? You're all 1. I thought it sucked. I'm like, thanks.
No, I give it a 4.
Okay.
It was not one of my favorites.
Right.
I mean, like I said, Rocky 4 was my favorite movie of all the Rockies.
All the true Rocky fans out there like, how dare you?
I'm sorry, but it was.
I love Rocky 4.
I think it was because it was when I was a little kid. That was the movie that was out, and it got me into Rocky movies. And even to this day, when I watch Rocky 1, I'm kind of like, it's a little boring.
A little slow, yeah.
But, excuse me.
But the overall idea, you still get it. And
but but watching them in order is pretty epic. And
yes.
And now looking back at it now and having all the movies in a row, it's pretty great. So, excuse me, man.
So 4, okay.
So 4.
4 or 5, hey.
It's a pretty highly recommended.
Yeah, if you haven't
movie
watched it, like I said, it's a slower one. It's not high paced like now, but it's a
little, and the filming of it itself is a little bit off. Yeah, it's a little dark. It's not highlighted enough.
It's definitely low definition.
Yes.
It's lo-fi, baby.
It's a little shaky in parts where I'm like, I can't stand movies that are shaky.
Like when they're running or something.
Yes, and it's like moves with them, and you're like, just still.
And what's funny is that the research we were watching, they said that was one of the guy that invented that camera. I can't remember what you call it, but the
still mode
like anti-shake, kind of thing.
Yes,
like,
he was the one who
that
invented
was one of the first movies to use it. He invented it. Was on there, and they said like you look at it now, it was horrible compared to how
because it was
good
like
the technology is now.
And,
but back then it was good. You know what I mean? But it was just horrible now. But back then it was good. So just
they were trying it out.
How far we've come. But yeah, I think that's it.
That was good.
That was a good review. I don't know why we high-fived, but
we do that sometimes.
We do it sometimes, yeah. All right.
We're a high-fiving couple.
Then all that matters is that I love you, baby.
Aww. It's nice to hear. This is actually longer review than Karate Kid Beat to Death.
That could be because our sons kept stepped in here a few times and we had to download some games. We had to download a game for him.
On my phone.
On our phone, he's been playing it too much. We took his tablet away, now he's playing our phone all the time.
Yeah, he's discovered a new outlet.
Yeah. So we're trying to really limit that stuff because that stuff fries your kids' brain. It fries our brain, so what do you think it's doing to kids? So we're really trying to limit his time doing that stuff.
Yeah, but sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah. So every once in a while, it just helps. Certain things like this.
We were those parents that were like, we're never going to have him on, like, watching TV or being on the internet.
Or if we go to a restaurant, he's never going to be on his whole time. Now we're like, all right, until the food comes. But then you can't have it the rest of the time. But once the food comes, we're going to be talking about our day or whatever we're talking about.
We want to catch up with each other and not be interrupted by a 4-year-old's conversation.
But you know what's funny with these kids is they I don't know how this became a parenting show all of a sudden, but these kids they complain and moan and make a huge deal out of it, but they get used to it. They get used to it really fast, not having it around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are good with repetition.
It's different, I'm sure, when they get teenagers and got other friends and that.
Of course.
At that level, it's different. You kind of need to stay connected to your friends.
But
when they're really young, when they're really young, though, they'll throw a fit or whatever. Don't worry, they'll get over it. They'll get over it, and they'll get used to playing with their toys and playing with their stuff. You know what I mean? They'll get back in the mode. So don't. If you're having that problem with your kid, I'm telling you, keep working on it and keep taking it away from them. Yeah, stay disciplined.
Stay stuck with it.
Not that we're perfect or anything, believe me, but
and agree with each other. Don't ever let the other one just.
We'll tell each other later. Hey, I think it was okay or this or that. But in the moment, you have to back each other up because
no matter what, if someone's yelling at the kid, then you back up that parent. Don't be like, don't yell at the kid, because then it becomes a thing.
So that was Erin and Clinton's parenting hour.
Thank you. That was the parenting corner.
I feel all these comments. I turned it for a review, not to be preached at about how to raise my kid.
We'll have little corners.
What makes you guys experts? It's like we're not. Believe me.
We have
we're not.
Like the one.
We have one kid. So kids out there with 3 kids, and so like you guys don't know crap.
we have aunties and uncles with more than one, and they could probably parent us through the.
But I'll tell you, it's hard. It's a ride, but there's nothing
totally
better.
Worth it.
It's worth it.
100%.
There's nothing like having a kid, man. It's amazing. But anyways, all right. Well, so yeah, keep up the spirit. We will see you guys next time on the next review. 365 and 365. Woo! Keep it going. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.